Says not connected. That's kind of. Well, good Friday morning, Field Home Farm Sessions, May 16th, 2025. Just got to turn that off. Talk today about seating, hockey, busy fucking friggin' week, and yeah, we'll start with we always got to start because Mystery and KJ and all these live listeners says my connection is poor. We had a 2/10 of an inch of rain last night, which I'll get into that after, which was okay just to slow things down a little bit, but it usually screws up my Wi-Fi when that gets on, so we'll see what happens. But start with hockey. Yes, your Maple Leafs lost 6-1 the other night, and we were at Strat planning and watching, and it's just something to laugh at because holy crap in hell, the Leafs just seem to always find a way to let their fans down, let the Leafs down. But on a good note, Edmonton Oilers won, made their fans great, and I met a person in Ottawa, when I'll get into that after, that lives just near Edmonton, is a hardcore Edmonton fan, and she was cheering like hell. And Winnipeg Jets won last night, so I think Dallas is leading that series 3-2. So that's it's good for the two Canadian teams that I like, Edmonton and Winnipeg. Not so good for the Leafs, but it is what it is. You don't expect anything less. What's it been, like 58 years since the last Cup? So, yes, got my corn seeding done last night. I had a very busy week. Went to Ottawa. I can go all over the place. I went to Ottawa on Monday night for Tuesday. I hadn't been to Ottawa since grade 7 of public school. We did a class trip to Ottawa, so I haven't been to Ottawa. So as part of a chicken farmer director for the Chicken Farmers of Canada, they have an orientation training. So just let you know what they do, what the Chicken Farmers of Canada is all about, how they work for the farmers. They look after every organization, all the provincial boards throughout the whole country. There's 10 provinces. Is it 10 provinces? Yes. And so there was quite a few people there. And then they had a young farmers forum, which was really good. They had a bunch of farmers from different places. Now, what you don't, what I don't always figure out or get or whatever, I get it, but it's just you don't realize it till it happens, is the translation. So the Chicken Farmers of Canada always have to have the translation, so it's always English and French. So there was some screw up with the third party setting up the media, and all of a sudden, so when we were trying to start a meeting, the media was getting set up, so they had this booth, and it's a glass booth, and I didn't know what was going on. And they had speakers, and so like earphone speakers, and so you put them on, and so when the people are speaking English, which is kind of Michael Liberté is the CFC CEO, and he's really good, but he's French, but he speaks so much in English that his English is better than his French, which is weird. So he's speaking in English, and then anybody that speaks French and can't understand English as well puts these earphones on, and then these two guys in the booth, they take turns. One guy does a live translation of what they're talking about. So it's kind of cool. And then there was a couple people that got up, very, very French. Could speak English, obviously, but very French. So they spoke the presentation in French, and then you put the earphones on, and the guys in the booth are translating what the guy's saying. So it was pretty cool. I think I'm going to have to do a presentation to our board about the orientation, or the DCRs, but orientation, but we'll see. We'll see what Chair Murray has in mind for me. So that was interesting. So you fly into Ottawa. It was on a Monday night, so you get there, and of course it's rush hour. So I think it's about a half-hour drive. I think probably only 15 minutes, but when you're in rush hour, I don't know why all these politicians that go to Ottawa from all over the country, you think there would be a better route from the airport to the Parliament buildings and the hotels, but it doesn't seem to be. So then we went out. There's another guy in our organization, Alan Tung, I think his name is. So he was there too, and he was doing the orientation. So went out to dinner in downtown Ottawa, and a nice little steakhouse. We had a nice meal, and yeah, just had a couple of drinks at the bar, and get ready for the next day. It was a long day, so got home. It was like bang bang. So I got home the next night. Same thing, Uber to the airport, And the good thing is and I didn't realize this as much because we have flown basically down to Florida for cruises and international flights all the time. So you're always there 3 hours before, waiting and waiting and waiting. And KJ is on. Oh, KJ, I'll get into you in a minute. I didn't mean it like that, but I'll talk about you in a minute. And where was I going? Oh, so oh fuck, you lost me, KJ. I was getting to you, KJ. So 4-H. So I'm online, and next thing you know, I checked out Facebook, and Emmett Foster's kids, Mary and Josh, were in Ottawa for some 4-H thing. They were at the Parliament buildings with Rob Black, who Rob Black is a senator, and he's from the Fergus, Elora area. So John Drummond, who's Mr. Volunteer, he was there, and a bunch of people. So a bunch of 4-H people, and they were in the House of Commons, and it was pretty cool. And I text Emmett actually first. Maybe I called him and said, "What's going on?" And he said they're down there for a 4-H thing. And so I text his son Josh, and we had a good conversation. He goes, "You're here?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here, but I want to hear till tonight or tomorrow night. I'm leaving." They were there till Thursday. I think they did some kind of a cruise or something. I don't know. So I guess KJ, you have to give me the text and tell me what they learned. But I guess they were learning about Parliament, learning about different things. I don't know if they sat in on question period because that's. I'm not sure kids want to. I'm not sure Josh and Mary are technically quote unquote kids anymore because I think Josh is about 22 this year, and Mary's got to be close to that, 20 or 21. So they're not kids per se. So they should know about the voting system and all that other stuff. So, and hopefully they went out and voted. So so yeah, we just sat in on that and sat in on stuff, and 4-H was down there, so it's a big part of 4-H governance and everything else. So Emmett's kids, I got that done. So I got KJ. You missed me making fun of the Maple Laughs because guess what happened, KJ? That was like I said to someone else yesterday at our strat meeting. I'll get into that too. At our strat meeting, that's like when my daughter was playing hockey and they were getting smoked by the team. I think Florida had to pass the puck 3 times before they could score. That's how bad the fucking Leafs played the other night, or how good Florida played because 6-1 in a playoff series in your second round and you lose 6-1, like that's pretty pathetic. So whatever, and you get to meet a lot of people. So the strat plant or down in Ottawa, you get to meet a ton of people. It was awesome that way. It had been great weather, so part of my what do you call it? Not negativity. Part of my not regret either. But anyways, you got to go to these meetings. So I said I had seating to do, and next thing you know, I had this orientation meeting in Ottawa, and then I had a strat plan meeting for a couple of days. The last couple of days, and my wife's like, "Well, shouldn't you get the corn planted because that's part of our livelihood?" Yes, but this is what I signed up for as a director, so I have to delegate responsibility, delegate jobs, and my wife stepped up and fed the cows. My daughters are feeding their 4-H calves, which KJ, I think the mechanics club's a lot better. These fucking calves, they take a lot of time. My daughters are they are. I'm thinking they don't love doing it, but it's part of. And then we're gonna go to the cottage this weekend, hopefully, maybe tomorrow for a couple days just to get away because it rains. So I can't sow beans anyways. What am I chilling about, KJ? So I can't sow beans anyways. So I might as well just go up to the cottage and relax for a couple days and get things happening and get things up there. So I did. So I did. I did 4-H calves. I know 4-H is good, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of clipping and getting the calves ready and everything else for 1 or 2 days of Achievement Day. Hopefully, they make it to the Royal with these nice Besley calves. The calves do look pretty sexy. They are very very attractive, very very good conformation calves. So I thank Brienne for that, but I won't fully thank her until November. So hopefully they make it to the Royal. That should be awesome. We went there last year for what is it called now? Scotiabank or something like that. I think no, it's not TD Classic. Anyways, we went there last year. My kids really enjoyed just seeing the other kids doing it. So hopefully, and the teamwork. So hopefully they do really good and train their calves and have the opportunity to make it there. So that would be really good. So anyways, my time-consuming job of being a director, I said, "Holy crap!" Emmett is on. Emmett, I think Emmett. I don't think it announces Emmett that I'm on, and he just comes on. Emmett, you missed. You have to listen back. I talked about you talking to you and your kids being in Ottawa and how good it was. I did not get to see them because I was in and out like a. I don't want to say it, in and out. So I flew in on the Monday night, went out to dinner. Orientation was on Tuesday. Flew out Tuesday night. That's what I was gonna say, KJ. I always come back. So the cool thing about that is there's so many flights coming out of Ottawa. We were done our meeting early at like 3:30, and then I think I wasn't supposed to fly out till 8, and you just go on standby on your phone, and you get upped it. So I flew out at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So that was pretty cool. And it's like it took me just as long to drive to the airport as it does to fly to Ottawa. I think it's like 50 minutes. It was like 50-minute plane ride. It was pretty cool. So my wife, it was funny because my wife texts me and she says, have a safe flight. Let me know when you're there. And I said, I'm already here. She says, holy shit. I said, yeah. It's just like, I think it's a 5.5 hour drive from Toronto airport or from my place to Ottawa. And it takes 50 minutes to fly there. So it's pretty good and it's pretty cool. And I don't know it doesn't cost very much. So that's what I was getting into before about my domestic flights. So you always go down to Florida. We always go down to Florida International and you wait airport for 3.5 hours. You got to go through intense U.S. security because, oh my God. So the domestic flight is 100% different. You go in, and I was shitting my pants because I was at the kiosk where you get your boarding pass. And apparently you don't have to do that for domestic. I don't know why, but. And I was at the kiosk and it said passport. And I said, holy shit, I forgot my passport. And I was like, panic. You get a panic mode. I was just panic. So I went to finally find somebody and I said, do I need my passport to fly to Ottawa? And he goes, no, you're good with a government ID. I said, oh, so take a deep breath. That is the beauty of flying in Canada. And the other beauty is you only have to be there as soon as your flight takes off. Basically, that's when you have to be there. If there's no major holidays or something like that, you're there an hour, half hour as soon as your flight takes off. So that's good. Hold on, unedited, KJ. Emmett, who do you cheer for in hockey? Because I know a lot of people like Miss KJ and Miss Mystery, and I said Miss Mystery, Mr. Mystery, and all these people cheer for the Leafs, and they're not doing very good. So get a new team, cheer for Edmonton. At least they're in the third round. They made final last year, so on the domestic side, it's awesome when you fly in domestic, fly anywhere. In the later summer, we're flying to New Brunswick for another CFC thing. I get to take the family, but I got to pay for that. That's not a included with the director thing. You got to pay for that. So we're getting up in the minutes, guys. But no Mystery today. I don't know what Mystery's doing. So I came home. So my director job does take a bit of time and did different things and had a couple days, but I got home. I don't have that much land. So I had 82 acres of corn to sow, and I think I had like 25 acres left last night. Got that done. Had a bit of trouble at the first. Got it done. Corn is friggin' done. I think I got done 10:30 last night. My corn girl, Michelle, I called her and I said, Michelle, I think we're a little bit short of corn. What do you think we're going to do about this? She goes, do you want me to bring? She's Michelle and King Michelle. I talked about her 1,000 times. She's kind of like you, KJ. She's awesome. And I said to Michelle, can you bring me the corn? She goes, absolutely. I can bring you anything you want, whatever you want. So she brings me 2 bags. And I said, I want you to bring 3 bags. She goes, oh, for fuck's sake. So she went back and she got another 2 bags. And lo and behold, I didn't need the last 2 bags. So I finished with the 2 bags. And it's kind of her. She doesn't listen to this anymore anyways, but it's kind of her fault anyways, because when we're lining up how many acres and what seed we need, she shorted me 2 bags. So it's her fault. So 2 bags left short, and I got the corn done. Corn's done. Now it's going to be a busy day of fucking washing and power washing the gravity box, corn planter, fertilizer, everything else. Get that done. That's like, it's like cooking, right? Cooking is awesome. That's what I tell I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to get negative, but anyways, it's like cooking. You cook the meal, that's great, but then there's a big job of cleaning up too, which needs to be done. So same as planting, you plant your crop, that's great, but then you got to clean out the boxes. You got to take away some seed things. There's ESET seed discs. You got to take them out. You got to wash the fertilizer, wash the gravity box, get that all done. put it away for another 363 days until I plant corn again. That is so. Oh, got it. So then the last. I'm just looking at my. I'm just looking at my list of topics here. So last 2 days we had strat plan for our business. So anybody, I don't know, KJ, do you do strat planning for 4-H? I'm sure you do. It says one new message. Where's my message? Just says you like the show, so we'll see. So we did strat plan, and I think I mentioned this before, but every business has a strat plan. You got so many pillars of what where your business is going for the next. But I think it's every 2 to 3 years. I think maybe some have 5 years, but I think any organization should have a strat plan every 3 years, and then you review it, and you're always reviewing it, but it's where the staff, different places where you want to go, different things where your organization should go. Your farmers bring information into you, and then you try to deliver what the farmers and the DCRs, district committee representatives, and the directors are showing, and try to get the staff on board with doing that, and not to overload too many subjects. So you have your strat plan, you try to get those things done, review it, see if they've been done. So that's a big. This was my first one ever. I shouldn't say that. First real one. I had a few when I was with Gailey, and we did Gay, and we did some mock strat plan board stuff, and that was pretty cool. So this was my first one. It was pretty interesting. There wasn't a lot of fighting. There was just you got a good group of directors, so it was a lot of discussing. Figured out a lot of stuff. So Plumber Scott is on the fucking broadcast. Plumber Scott, how did you make it on the broadcast? Are you coming back? You said you were coming back. Is it next week you're coming back? Plumber Scott got my water working to plumber. I should say plumber and firefighter Scott. Plumber Scott got my water working to the calves, water working to the cows. We're just saves a lot of labor. You gotta have those guys, Emmett. You gotta have friends that are plumbers and friends that are firefighters. Now, on the personal side, Plumber Scott, we haven't had a beer together in a long fucking time, and I think it's well overdue. So we need a beer. We need one of these things one time. And on the health side of me, I got to start working a little more. Holy shit, these 1-day meetings and 2-day meetings where you have lots of sitting down and lots of discussing. You're not exercising like you should, and you have a couple beers, you have a few snacks, you have too many bread. It's just, yeah, you got to get exercising a bit more. Plumber Scott, you'll have to go back and listen to the episode because we're going on to the 17-minute mark, and I got to get some shit done. And we can say, what are we going to say, non-Leafs fans? Go Florida, go. And we'll talk to you later. Come on, Secretary. Thanks for listening, everybody.